Hello and welcome to another edition of BattleTech Advanced, brought to you by Commando Gaming Strategic Gaming, brought to you live on twitch.tv. Sorry about the starts and stops today. Hopefully we fixed our problems. Literally all I did, for some reason it was not rendering the graphics to the stream. And the biggest thing I did was to restart and start the computer twice. And that seems to have fixed the problem. Go figure. Alright, so let's cross our fingers. Hopefully this will work as we begin the mission.
Command interface initiated.
Hey, Goggles. Can you please confirm that you're seeing the gameplay on the screen right now? Should be okay now, correct?
Not a happy climate for battle.
Sorry about all that. We had a bit of a glitch. Not quite sure what happened there. Goggles, I'm assuming that's a yes, it's working.
Coordinates received.
For some reason,
let's get down to it.
The graphics card was not, as close as I could figure, the graphics card was not sending the graphics to the screen. So that's why we were getting the rest of the gameplay. Look at me all far away. Oh, okay. Oh. I could fix the webcam. Give me 1 second. That probably got reset when I restarted the computer a bunch of times. So let's do that. Let's fix that. At least enough for this stream. There we go. Done. Alright. There, that's better. So we kind of had some problems with our graphics card. That's the closest thing I could figure.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
So let's get back into this fight. Not really sure. Hey, Big Fluffy, thanks for joining us. Yeah, it sounds like we had a driver issue with the...
Good to go.
But I didn't do anything to fix it. I literally just started and restarted the computer three times out of desperation, and it worked.
Commander.
So, who knows? So we still have our LAM here. We'll transform him next round. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to use the LAM. So, sorry about our...
Acknowledged.
graphics card issues. It's a 380 right out of the box, or a 3080 right out of the box. So
Waiting on you, Commander.
there should not have been a problem.
Going
Especially
turbo.
since I've been streaming for several days with this new computer, but that's okay. We've got it back up and running, so let's play some BattleTech.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Basically, right now, I'm just going to be an appetizer for you before IMG comes in.
Let's make some bad decisions at high speed.
Hey, Big Fluffy. Yeah, the LAM update went live on Saturday. And momentarily here, I can find our LAM. Here's our LAM right here. So what we have to do is just hit the avionics button, which causes him to transform. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this in all of its glory. Okay, so we go from mech to LAM, just like that. And when that happens, obviously terrain is not an issue for us. So it can be very fast and evasive. But when you're a LAM, you're also much more susceptible to damage. So we want to use that carefully. So we can even... Alright, so that gives us some vision on the enemy there. pretty cool. I'm really liking the LAM functionality. I'm having a hard time making the LAM viable though because it's so fragile. I feel like it doesn't get the evasion that it should get. It's also very loud.
10-4.
You kind of hear the LAM jets in the background the whole time when you're in LAM mode. Alright, so we've got a Cyclone here and an Urban Mech. And just to let other people know, including Big Fluffy, we're only on stream 2 of this fresh start playthrough. So we're still getting our
Fun time.
mechs leveled up. So we're mainly have light mechs.
What can I do for you?
Pokey here, which is a dervish.
Got it.
Pokey
Max
here.
speed, no shooting.
So, I mean, I do enjoy the LAM functionality. I don't want anyone to feel like, I just need to figure out, and it's going to take some trial and error, to figure out the best way to use the LAMs, because they don't have a lot of firepower, and they are very fragile, so the question is, do we just use them as a scout?
What do you want?
Right, but then
Let's make some bad
I don't know
decisions
how
at high
effective they're going to be
speed.
versus us using, say, a Locust or a Wraith or another
Receiving.
fast mech to run around and give us vision. That's kind of the challenge of facing.
No shooting, just running. Got it.
About, you were going to ask Big Fluffy about how to use the LAM? Effects volumes are overwhelming. Oh, okay. So I can actually change that. Let me, let's bring down the effects in the game. Let's see if that's a little better for you guys. Is that better? Is that better? The effects? Is that a little better? I can also go into the game settings and change the effects.
Standing by.
But I kind of I lowered the impact. So here's our LAM. So let's move our LAM out to give you an example. Okay, so let's say I move our LAM here. It's got evasion 8. So it should be hard to hit. And if it's hard to hit, then theoretically we should be able to just shoot this guy in the back.
Firing a full salvo.
Yeah, the LAM is kind of loud.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Alright, let's actually put the generator up here with a kick. Let's be aggressive.
Here we go.
Let me see if I could play around with the effects in the game settings. Audio effects. Let's see. Voices, sound effects. Let's see.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Okay, that might be a little better.
I hear ya.
I think the LAM is much more manageable now. It is very loud.
Pedal to the metal.
Now, we might have to play around with this because we obviously still want to hear weapons. Okay, so maybe we meet in the middle. Let's go to the audio sounds again. Let's tweak them just a little bit. Maybe lower the ambient noise, the cinematic volume. Okay.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
So that's not my settings. That's just the fact that the LAM is very loud.
Decisions at high speed.
So we probably just have to adjust for that a little bit. All right, let's keep working on this cyclone.
Adjustment coming right up.
Not as much as I was hoping for on that round. So how does the sound to everybody on the stream now? Is it better? The LAMs are very loud, so if I'm using LAMs, I'm just going to have to adjust the audio probably before the stream going forward to make sure that we don't have that audio impact. I don't want to do a charge. Let's just move in. Alright, Skewed 1, can you get us a leg hit on this cyclone? That would be nice. Oh, we did get a leg hit there.
Yes, Commander.
So hopefully the sounds are better for everybody now. So again, let's play around with our LAM here. So we're trying to figure out. Obviously, the LAM's strength is going to be the fact that it can fly around and to be evasive and get shots to the rear. But if we're going to miss every time, that's not going to help us very much.
That didn't hit.
So you might need to emphasize pilot skill if you want to use the LAM as a backstabber, because getting to the target obviously is only half the battle. It doesn't do us a lot of good if we can't actually
Waiting on you, Commander.
put weapons on the target. Alright, so I'm less interested in salvage on this Irby here. But I know I'm going to hit the back of my Jenner, because friendly fire is a thing in this game. Alright, let's just do LRMs on the Cyclone here. Again, sorry about the display issues earlier. It clearly must have been a problem with the graphics card, maybe communicating with OBS, because
My old mama can hit harder than that.
I'm on the clock.
all I did to fix the problem eventually, after some trial and error, is to restart the computer a few times.
Let's make some bad decisions at high speed.
So hopefully the sounds sound good now. Again, I don't want to risk hitting my Jenner in the back, so we're going to skip taking that shot. Now, keep in mind that I play with friendly fire enabled. So sometimes you have to look at your shots and figure out if it makes sense for you to take the chance of hitting your own friendly unit versus just letting that go. Alright, so there's a kill on the Cyclone. Yeah, Andre, I replied back to you in Discord. Now, one of the cool things we could do with this LAM, so watch. If I take the LAM across the map, and I land, watch. So I'll go to the objective, hold location. So I don't even have to transform and land to trigger the retrieval. So you could use a LAM to retrieve the retrieval without actually putting a mech in the target zone. So that might be a use for the LAM, quite frankly, is if we use the LAM for retrievals, it could be a useful tool for missions where you don't want to clear the objective, and you just want to send one mech to get in and get out. You could probably even use... Oh, sorry, Skewed One. I'm really sorry that we had the graphics problems. that limited how much you could be with us today. But very excited that you're going to be our MC for our head-to-head showdown between myself and IMG, which is going to be scheduled for Saturday.
Copy that, Commander.
I just have to confirm the times
Okay, Tiger.
one more time
You
with
and me?
IMG, and then we'll be able to give you a
You've got to be shitting me.
day and time. It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be prime time in the East Coast and
Bye-bye.
mid-afternoon on the West Coast of the United States.
I hear you.
So it should be a lot of fun for us to play some play-by-play. Or, not play-by-play, PvP. And Askewed One can give you some
Going turbo.
play-by-play in the chat, because obviously we can't look at the streams, or
Have the asset, Commander.
we would be able to look at each other's progress in the game, and that would kind of eliminate the strategy of the game, and then it would just become a slugfest. Alright, Askewed One, we will see you next time. Thank you for stopping in, at least for a little while. Everybody else, we should have a good 45 minutes, so let's try to get some more missions in here. So we can get the 2 parts of the Cyclone, which I really like, for salvage. So we got Cyclone, 2 Irby parts. Ooh, a Guardian ECM. So a Guardian ECM on a LAM would be an interesting thing, because it seems like the LAM really gets hit hard. So if I could put a LAM ECM and eventually stealth armor on a LAM, then I think it would be much more survivable. But as you can see, we're trying to figure out some ways that we can use the LAM to achieve objectives. So in that case, we use the LAM to capture the objective. So that's one different way of doing things. All right, so we have a... we do have a full lance, kind of, because I'm including a Stinger as part of our 5. So we do have a last mech standing mission here. It's a 1.5 skull. And these are really good opportunities to get salvage. So we'll take our Pokey, Panther's Pants Jenner, and our other Jenner. And let's go for it. So I think we are finding some ways that we can use the LAM effectively in combat. So if anybody has any questions, please obviously go into the chat room. We want to have as much chatter as possible in the chat room, so please do that. If you're new here, we also have a giveaway. And we want to encourage everyone to give us a follow, because that's the minimum amount you need to enter our giveaway. Now, the more interactive with you that you are with our channel, either by watching streams or interacting in the chat room, the better your chances of getting our Funko Pop win in our Funko Pop giveaway. Hey, Andre. Yeah, so the Andre was kind enough to draw me an atlas, which I think looks really cool. Andre, did you put that in the main gallery so other people can see it if they choose to do so? All right, destroy enemy units. All right, so, all right, we got to... All right, we have to cross this wide area to get to the enemies here.
Got it. On my
So
way.
another thing I want to do is not use my LAM until I'm close enough to the enemy that my other mechs can reinforce the LAM, because
Alright, let's get down to it.
the biggest shortfall I see for the LAM
Heading out.
is the fact that, well, let's transform him right now so we can move him. The biggest thing I fear about the LAM is you can get overconfident about their evasion and get them in trouble. Okay, yeah, I mean, I thought, Andre, I thought that initial try at drawing an atlas was very impressive. Drawing mechs is not an easy thing.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
And certainly not something I could do. Alright, so we're crossing over. The enemy's over here. We got an unknown mech there, unknown mech there.
Commander.
Alright, so let's move up. Get vision on this first enemy. What do we have? We got a brigand, which is a light mech. Oh, no problem, Andre. Let's hit this brigand before it gets evasive. The brigand is a pirate mech. It's one of the first mechs that was actually designed from top to bottom by pirates. Ooh, Firestarter. We're actually one part away from getting a Firestarter, so that tells me we can get a Firestarter at the end of this mission, which is why I took it. Alright, so let's take our LAM and see if we have an enemy mech isolated like this, can we use our LAM to kind of pick apart the enemy Firestarter here. Now his evasion is Stinger evasion is 8. We also have a primitive commando here, so definitely the prize of this mission is the Firestarter.
Affirmative.
So let's try to take advantage of the fact that it's in a spore cloud here and do some structural damage.
Ready to rock. Affirmative, Commander.
Yeah, I think using a LAM correctly is going to be very challenging. I mean, I think you have to think of whole new ways of
Got it. Max speed,
thinking
no
about
fuel.
BattleTech now that we have LAMs, because obviously they're a significant resource if you can use them
Special delivery.
in a smart way, but they're also a very fragile resource because
When I shoot you, you'll
if
take
you
it
don't
and
protect
like it.
them, the LAMs are going to get wrecked pretty easily. And it feels to me like the LAM evasion, now it might have just been bad luck yesterday, but it felt like the LAM evasion was not what it should be. It felt like the enemy was hitting our LAMs way too much. Now that could be something that they
I'm on the
tweak.
clock. What do you want?
Now keep in mind, if we want the enemy
Let's
not
make
to be
some
able to
grand
hit our
decisions
LAMs,
at high speed.
that means the enemy's LAMs are also going to be harder to hit. So it's a real catch-22.
One attitude adjustment coming
I
right
don't
up.
really care about salvage on this brigand, so let's just try to factor down on this thing. So we got a javelin. See, the javelin now is going after... Our LAM is actually acting as it should be, very evasive.
Aye, aye.
So I do feel like the LAM
Roger.
is acting a little bit more like it should right now, in the fact that it is fragile, but it still should be a very hard target for the enemy to hit, if that makes sense. Nice hits on the brigand there. Goggles, if you're still in the chat, let me know how your playthrough is going. Goggles is doing his first BattleTech Advanced playthrough right now, so I want to... And
Standing by.
in the beginning, it was a little challenging, and that's common for, anybody who plays BattleTech Advanced the first time. It's going to be tough. All right, so again, we're going to keep the Stinger LAM evasive. We're going to keep it away from the enemies, but still in weapons range.
Giving them everything I've got.
And see, we can kind of pick the enemy apart when you think about it.
Reporting negative damage.
Oh, Goggles, I'm glad it is going well. Ha 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 ha. See, I told you, Goggles, anybody who's played Battletech Advanced or any modded Battletech knows that the
Engaging target.
difficulty from vanilla to Battletech, like if I would consider vanilla Battletech difficulty like a 7, probably a 7. But if you go to Battletech Expanded, it's probably a 8. If you go to Battletech Advanced, it's probably a 9. And if you go to Rogue Tech, it's probably a 15 out of 10, if you know what I mean.
I hear you.
But
No sweat.
once you get the hang of modded Battletech, it's so much fun because it's infinitely replayable. I could play Battletech Advanced every day and never get bored. Now, I play other things to break it up. I don't just play Battletech 24 hours a day, or, yeah, it probably would drive me crazy. But Battletech Advanced is extremely replayable. As long as you're just playing a couple hours a day, you can probably play indefinitely. And heck, I've been playing Battletech either modded or not since the day it came out, so pretty much every day.
One attitude adjustment.
I took a couple breaks occasionally, but for the most part, I've probably played this 90% of my days since the game came out. It's one of my morning rituals. What I like about Battletech Advanced is I play it before
Light damage.
my work day, and it actually does a great job of getting my brain working. Because it really is a challenging mental puzzle to be successful with this game. Ah! Goggles, so what happens when the timer reaches 0? So, this is a common misconception. So, the career timer was put in by Harebrained Schemes when they first developed career mode. And the idea was it would give everybody a benchmark. So when the timer hit 0, you get a score based on certain parameters. And if you go to the captain's quarters and click on the left side of the top left, you can actually see what those parameters are, and you can get your current score. But when that hits 0, you can keep playing indefinitely. So really that that timer is just a way of you kind of benchmarking your performance if you're interested in doing that. So you could basically say, okay,
My armor's getting ripped off.
I did slightly better on my second playthrough than my first. If you're interested in doing that, I don't really care. Check my score anymore.
All right, let's move.
I don't really find that as something that. All right, so this javelin's in a spore cloud, but its hit percent chance is low. This primitive commando is on the edge of the spore cloud. Not a lot of good choices here. Let's hit the commando.
Accuracy through volume of 5.
All right. So that's what happens, Goggles.
What can I do for you?
You could continue your career as long as you want. There's no limit to that. That's just a benchmarking tool that Harebrained Schemes put in when they first released career mode. So it's completely up to you if you want to use that as a benchmarking tool. I remember when career mode first came out in message boards, there was a lot of competition to see who could get the best score, but that kind of died off.
Get banged up
A
real
lot
good
like
here.
playing
On the clock.
skirmish mode PvP kind of died off too, which is something that IMG and I are going to use
At high speed.
to have a friendly competition with BattleTech, vanilla BattleTech, because we can't do, unfortunately, we can't do BattleTech Advanced in skirmish mode.
One attitude adjustment coming right
Just
up.
trying to get rid of this commando quickly here. Andre, sure, we could do that. Let me figure out a time that works for me. I would normally do that with you today. However, I'm going in to do a very minor procedure today, and that's it's nothing to worry about, I assure you. It's something that I do every couple of years. It's preventative. So, but I'll be unconscious a good part of today in the surgical center. So I won't be able to help you probably today, but maybe tonight we can find some time that I can look at your screen on Discord and I could give you some suggestions on your mechs. Absolutely. I'll be happy to do that. But the key thing about mech, putting mechs together, is you want it to be based on what you enjoy in your mech play. So some people like to do melee, some people like to do long range sniping, some people like to do laser spam. So when you're building your mechs, this is a good so you can see they're kind of ignoring my LAM here. Alright, so let's actually do, I can't do a leg attack. I don't want to do a punch on this fire starter. Yeah, of course, Andre. I'll gladly spend some time with you on Discord. And that goes for anybody. If anybody wants to do like a consulting with me to give them feedback on what they can do with their mechs, I'm always happy to do that. But again, it really comes down to your individual gameplay.
Pedal to the metal.
Everybody likes different gameplay, and that's one of the beauties of BattleTech Advanced.
Firing on target.
Oof, that was a bad shot. Is that everybody can make their mechs or build their mechs how they enjoy playing. There's lots of variation. It's one of the reasons this game is so replayable, is that you could say, you know what? I think I'm going to build a MRM Dervish, or I think I'm going to build a coil flea and see how it works. And we can all do those things because there's so much flexibility with this game.
The cream of the crop will rise to the top.
Oof. I was hoping to get the leg on that grasshopper. Come on. Or, sorry, that fire starter. Come on. Oh, man. That was a bad roll. The fire starter is going to make me pay now. Yep. Yep. Ouch. That was a nice backstab move by that fire starter pilot.
Standing by.
I got to give him credit. That was a really nice move.
On my way.
All right, let's keep trying to get as many shots into the rear of these enemies as we can.
Firing.
All right, nice shots into the rear of that javelin there.
This heat. It's frying my internals.
So the good thing here is they're really ignoring my LAM. So we can actually get in
Sweet.
Some nice rear shots here. Of course, I'm missing. But the thing is it's real easy for me to get careless with my lamb and just say, well, you know what? They're not attacking him. There goes the leg on that fire starter.
Critical hit.
Alright, we got 3 parts of that fire starter. Very nice.
Target's down.
That's a nice... That means we can put together a fire starter.
Find my heat, Commander.
Our generator shut down,
Gotta
so
shut down.
they're going to make us pay for that right now. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'm catching some serious shit here,
Yep.
Commander.
So they're really going to go after my...
On my way.
my generator here because it's shut down. So we have to be aggressive and try to take these enemies out quickly. Commando's gonna go after Jenner again. Nope, it went after our dervish. So, let's see, let's backstab this commando some more. He is a problem. So we're gonna just do 2 medium lasers. Yep, Bloody Doves is one of my favorite streamers for Battletech Advanced, and I understand what you're saying. So, for those of you who may not know, Bloody Doves is actually the primary developer for this mod. So, it's really cool to see a developer play the game, and that's one of the reasons I like BTA as much as I do, is Bloody Doves will actually give us a preview of his next build in his streams. So last week he was playing his streams with LAMS, and then he released the streams with LAMS. So that's one of the cool things about watching Bloody Dove stream, is he does give you the latest the working version of the mod instead of the released version. Alright, really hoping we don't lose our Jenner here. Really nervous about that.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I'm excited we're going to get a fire starter, but obviously we don't want to lose
No sweat.
our Jenner just to get a fire starter. There we go, there we go, there's the enemy.
Gotcha.
Alright. Target's down.
Mission successful.
Alright, so we're adding a fire starter now. Yeah, so it is uncanny when you watch a streamer that also has a character in Battletech Advanced. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool experience. It's really cool that Bloody Doves rewards the people who stream his game by putting them in the game. So, you know, it's my dream someday that maybe I can have a pilot in Battletech Advanced. That would be pretty cool too. So, but we'll see if that opportunity presents itself. I would say I probably stream BTA more consistently than anyone else because I do it 7 days a week, unless there's a reason that I have to make an exception. So, all right, so we're back in the Argo. All right, let's see how bad the repairs are. 1 day for the Jenner. 1 day for the Jenner. But the big news is we now have a fire starter. So we could take the fire starter H or the fire starter P. I'm going to take the fire starter P because it has an XL engine.
That neck you asked for is
and it has a PPC. Alright, so let's take a look at the Firestarter P. I'm probably going to make some tweaks to this thing when we travel, but we're kind of limited because if I take out the PPC, I could just add 2 medium lasers, which is not the best use of tonnage. So we're probably better off just keeping the PPC. But one of the things I'm going to do is we're going to take off the jump jets, and this is what I recommend with everybody in your early playthroughs. Don't be afraid to take the jump jets off some of your mechs, because you take all these jump jets off, right? And then we armor the mech up. So this Firestarter just became a much better brawler because it's got a lot more durability.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
So I don't mind losing the jump jets if it makes my mech much more survivable. Speaking of that, the Panther here had a jump jet that... Oh, several jump jets I didn't take out. So we're going to take out the jump jets here. And it's the same thing. We're going to switch out the jump jets. Oh, that's right. Because the Panther was already maxed out, that's why I put the jump jets back in. Never mind. We're not gonna make that change, because I can't do anything with that tonnage. All right, so that's it for our max. So let's see. Let's get these Jenners up and running. It'll take us 2 days. And we're actually going to have some choices on what we want to take on our missions instead of just taking the same 5 mechs every time. Should probably also stop into the barracks here.
Yup.
And let's see. Let's put bulwark and multi-target on coach. Oh, skewed 1, you're injured.
Waiting for
You're
orders.
going to be out for 19 days. Oh, skewed 1 isn't on the stream anymore, unfortunately.
Ready for orders.
I'm glad he didn't see himself get injured.
Confirmed.
Just a reminder to everybody: you can use your
Orders.
channel points to name
What's
a
the plan?
pilot. We still have Junker available and Taboo available if you're interested in naming a pilot with your channel points. All right, so let's wait the 2 days. Oh, we did wait the 2 days. So now we have all of our mechs ready to go. And we could take... I don't know if I'm going to take the Stinger as much, because I like the idea of LAMs. I just don't know if the Stinger LAM is the most viable and useful use of our tonnage. Maybe when we have additional slots, then you can have a Stinger as kind of a scout only and try to keep him out of the fight. But right now we need every bit of firepower we can get. So let's see. Alright, so I'm going to put... We're going to switch out the Stinger. The Firestarter for the Stinger. I'm going to put myself in the Firestarter, because arguably it's now our most valuable mech. We're going to put our tactical pilot into one of the Jenners. Let's see. We'll put Coach in the Panther. And we'll put Pathfinder in the Jenner. Alright, this is a destroy base mission. This will be my last mission for the stream. Again, sorry it was a little shorter than normal, but we had those technical difficulties that were a real headache. I've never had a situation where the graphics card was not projecting the graphics into the screen capture. So it only took us 3 restarts to get the thing to work correctly. And unfortunately, it wasn't just a restart. I had to restart, load up OBS, load up BattleTech, and test. And then I had to restart. That's kind of what I had to resort to there because we were just having so many problems with that graphics card. But you know, it's a 3080 graphics card right out of the box. So I'm hoping it was just a one-time glitch. Alright, so we got a base to destroy, along with an enemy garrison. Alright, what is our path to get there, though? Alright, so I guess we can go that way. Alright, not the ideal path here, but we'll be fine.
I'm rolling.
Coordinates received.
Oh, that fire starter. So excited to have a fire starter in our Lance. Getting a fire starter in the first part of a playthrough is a real game changer because for its tonnage, in the 35-ton bracket, I don't know which I like better, the Wolfhound or the fire starter, but it is a really close competition, let me tell you.
Acknowledge,
Let
Commander.
me tell you, it's a really close competition.
Moving out.
All right, let's get down to it.
Confirmed.
What can I do for you? Got it.
You got it.
Alright, let's work our way
On my
towards the
way.
objective.
All right, let's get down to it.
Heading out.
Now our Panther and our Dervish are slow, so we can't push ahead so far that we get ourselves in trouble with our lights. So one of the most common mistakes in BattleTech Advanced is
What are your orders, Skipper?
when people get overly aggressive with their light mechs
Copy that, Commander.
and their mediums, heavies, and assaults don't have the speed to support them. So in many cases, you have to tell yourself, all right, I'm going to let my light mechs wait a turn
Yeah.
before they advance. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right, so we could probably sprint up here. I don't want to go much farther without our mediums, but we can use our lights to take out some of these vehicles really quickly. Let's see, we got turrets to deal with as well on this mission. All right, this wheeled APC has high evasion, so
Roger.
we're going to be lucky if we hit. All right, we hit once. About what I expected with that high evasion. All right, got a Pegasus. Looks like the enemy garrison is going to be vehicles here. I'm sure at some point we're going to have some mechs
Let's
come
make some
in
bad
as well.
decisions at high speed.
So one of the weapons that... let's see. Let's actually use our PPC on the fire starter to start
Let's
working
see
on
if
that
I'm smart
turret.
enough to line this up.
Want to take those turrets down as quick as we can. They have a lot of turrets. Have a lot of firepower. Never hold a light mechs. No, IMG.
Receiving you.
A good point, IMG, and that's good clarification on your part. I wasn't saying that I was going to hold
Double time. Let's
my
go.
light mech from moving in any direction. It's just I was going to keep the light mechs from moving forward away from the support of the enemy of the rest of our lance. Let's finish off this turret if we can. There we go. So yes, you can zigzag, you
That
can
turret
move
is
left to
gone.
right, you can even retreat a little and wait for your medium mechs. But yes, you always want to keep the medium mechs moving. Case in point there, my Jenner could have been really hurt if it didn't have high evasion right here. So we're fortunate there.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Alright, so let's keep pushing forward. So our mediums,
Pedal to the
my
metal.
medium and my Panther, and the Panthers are historically slow mechs, are going to have to work their way up to provide support. Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep firing at that APC. Not good hit percent chances here, but it's the best choice. Alright, we actually got more hits on that APC than I thought we would. IMG, I'm sure you weren't on earlier, but very early on in the stream, the graphics card was not generating graphics on our stream capture. So I had to do several restarts of my computer, and it worked, and it ended up fixing itself. I'm hoping it was just a bug. I didn't change any of the settings. It was just me restarting the computer and the graphics card several times. It was showing us our cursor on the screen, but it wasn't showing us any of the graphics. But I could see it on my actual playthrough. I could see the graphics just fine. So, interesting quirk there. Alright, let's use our lights here to go in for melee. Now we do trade off some of our evasion. Yeah, so it was capturing everything else on the screen except for the graphics. So I'm pretty sure it was just a glitch with the graphics card. We'll have to watch that closely, but it seems to be fine now. IMG is going to be taking over our stream in about 10 minutes.
Commander.
And he is going to be
Locked on for physical attack.
playing BattleTech Advanced 8.3 as well.
Failed to connect.
IMG, what do they have to look forward to on your stream in just a few minutes? You're a little further along because I did a restart. Knockdown on our Jenner. Ooh.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Not good, not good, not good.
All right, let's get down to it.
Yeah, I have a hard stop today,
To the top.
IMG. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish this mission.
Come on, Mech
I have
Warriors.
a
It's go time.
appointment with the medical center. Nothing serious, just some maintenance. So I have a hard stop today. So I got probably, to be honest, I probably have about 5 more minutes. So I don't even know if we'll be able to finish this mission. We will see. So what I'll probably do, IMG, since I won't be able to finish this mission. Yeah, you didn't restart. It wasn't required. I restarted because I switched computers,
Looks like they know what they're
and that's why I had to do a restart. So you are fine with a restart. I had to do the restart because I switched computers. So IMG, whenever you're ready, just give me a heads up.
Looks like they know what they're
I'm not going to be able to finish this mission.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Well, let's just say, without getting too graphic, I need to do an inspection of my pipes, which is very common for people of my advanced age. not a pleasant experience, especially when you have to clean out the pipes the day before, let me tell you. Yesterday was not fun.
Critical hit. Critical.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
So whenever you're ready to stream IMG, just let me know,
Let's get down.
and I will see you guys tomorrow, and I'll hand you off to IMG, since I'm not going to have the time to finish this mission, unfortunately. Ooh, might be a good thing that we're going to
This heat is cooking
do a
my
restart
entire
on this
structure.
mission. Really nasty mission we've got going on here. This turret right here is the real problem. That turret right there is the real headache. Thank you, Goggles. I'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. I've had this procedure several times. I'll be back tomorrow. You don't have to worry about that. I would not miss my morning BattleTech Advanced for anything. So on that note, I'm going to end my stream. I think IMG will be ready momentarily.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
I'll just wait for IMG to give me the go-ahead. I'm a little early on his...
Internal structure.
A little early for him.
I'm taking heat damage.
Alright, so my pilot in my Jenner is bleeding out. He's already has 2 injuries.
Back in action.
So we're not going to be able to keep him around much longer.
Roger. Time to get physical. No joy. My
Oh,
heat sinks can't
shut
take much more
down.
of this.
Serves
My
me
heat
right.
sinks can't bend fast enough. I'm
Serves
taking
me
damage.
right. I was playing on the red line way too
My
long
heat
there.
gauge is pegged.
So on that note, I will...
Ah, damn it.
Oof, another injury. I will see you guys tomorrow for another edition of BattleTech Advanced, and IMG will be on shortly to take over. Talk to you then.